It was a tough decision, mostly not because I thought, I was wondering whether or not the marriage should last, but it was whether or not I could afford to do it on my own. But, it's really, really hitting home just in the last little while where I'm like, I can't stay there. I can't stay in that marriage. I need to go find what's going to make me happy and let me move on with life. And now that means that, like, I made the choice that I was like, okay, whatever I can find, but it needed some criteria. It had to be big enough for me to be able to have my kids with me half the time because we share 50-50 custody. It needed to be in a safe enough neighborhood that I wanted my kids to be there with me, and it needed to be something I could afford. So I was like, if you didn't call on it, show up with money in hand, ready to make a deposit, like the instant the ad went up, then you were out of luck. So, you kind of had to scour all of the available resources, Craigslist or, hotpads.com or whatever website it was that you were looking at. If I didn't check 4 of them 5 times a day and call on them the second they came up, it was like, oh, it's rented. Oh, it's rented. Oh, it's rented. Okay, well, it's not perfect in this way or it's not perfect in that way. I don't have any choice in the matter. It's a matter of, okay, this one's not gone. Just take it. So then I was right back to square one going, okay, now I definitely have left my marriage. I can't go back to that situation. I've lost my apartment. I've lost everything I own, and I have to do this all over again. And in the 4 months that it took for me to find the first place until I was suddenly looking for a place again, the rental prices in this area had already shot up by, upwards of $100 a month for the same size units. And now I'm getting really frustrated and nervous because I'm looking at, for the same rent payment that I was just making, I was looking at maybe a 1-bedroom apartment. And the thought of trying to find a third place after all of this, it can make me tear my hair out. I can't do this. I can't do this again. And, it's like I worry that I'm going to get to the end of this lease and they're going to be like, oh, well, we're bumping up the rent. And I'm going to be like, you can't do that to me. The thing of it is I have a job here. I have a known job here, which doesn't mean that I can't look, but my children's other parent does not want to leave this area. She's made it clear that she's like, if you leave, we're going to have to fight over the kids, which I don't want to fight over my kids. I want them to have access to both of their parents. And I sort of feel like because I was the one that left, I'm the one that's going to have to say, okay, you get the kids, which isn't right and isn't fair. And I could fight that, but with what money and what lawyer? So I'm trying very best to make it here because I want to be an active everyday part of my kids' lives. I can't just walk away from them and go, okay, well, I'll see you in a couple of months. So, there's a trade-off to everything. I might be able to find a better job, and I might be able to find, more affordable living somewhere else. But I'm doing that at the expense of being with my kids as often as I'd like to be as, an active and involved parent in their life.